When I say that bad time management is one of the biggest epidemics of our modern society, I truly mean it. Because we live in a time where mediocrity has never been so common and even rewarded. And let me explain what I mean by that. One of the main reasons that mediocrity has become kind of a baseline in society is technology, and more specifically social media. Social media rewards content consumers for wasting their time with a dopamine boost that makes you want to keep scrolling while feeling good about it and not necessarily questioning if you could be doing anything better with your life right now. And social media rewards content creators with views, fame and credibility and money. But it's not even about money. That's the thing, is that you can make a ton of money on YouTube, on TikTok or whatever platform, but what matters the most in this world is that you get eyeballs, you get views and you get credibility. And that dynamic of dopamine versus credibility is very dangerous because it's completely out of balance. You get maybe 1,000 dopamine boosts, so that's 1,000 people scrolling, for one content creator. Maybe 10,000 dopamine boosts for one content creator. There are such few people creating content versus so many millions of people consuming content. And those people consuming content are gonna say, I don't have time to do stuff. Meanwhile, people spend an average of 2 hours and 24 minutes on social media every day. Americans check their phone on average 159 times per day and spend 4.2 hours per day on mobile gaming. That's more than 1 day per week or 2 months of our life every year. People think they don't have time to do things, but the truth is often that they don't have a good overview of their time use. And one very simple trick to change that is to stop looking at your time use on a daily timeline and switch to a weekly timeline. 1 day is only 24 hours, but 1 week is 168 hours. If you work 8 hours per day, commute for 2 hours, sleep for 8, and spend 5 hours on everything else like eating, family, exercising, you still have 27 hours per week to get more stuff done. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about how to become better at time management, because we've gotten to a point in our modern world where only the people who are good at managing their time will get something out of life, basically. And don't get me wrong, you can still have a good life if you're not so good at managing your time, but I truly believe that you will miss out on your full potential if you're lucky enough to already have a good life and you're not so organized. You think you don't have time to do things. People often ask me how I do everything I do. And you know, this video is not me bragging about my time management skills, but I figured that if people ask me, I can make a video that answers their question, and if there are other people interested, they will watch the video. So what do? I have a 9-to-5 job, a side business focused on content creation through writing and making videos, and I have a baby. And if you ever try having a baby and a job and a business at the same time, you kind of get the idea that time management is important. So I'm not going to explain how to do each thing separately, but I'm going to give you some tips that help me maintaining clarity over my schedule, and that clarity enables me to get things done. So with that in mind, the first tip I would give someone wanting to become better at time management is very simple. Get off your phone. I almost never use my phone. I use WhatsApp on my laptop 90% of the time. I don't have social media accounts. I just don't really use my phone for anything. And even if you have good intentions when using your phone, if you want to use it to work, to do something productive, the main problem is going to be notifications, right? You're going to get a notification from Instagram, from Twitter or whatever, and you're not going to stop yourself from tapping on that notification, and you're going to go back down the social media rabbit hole, basically. So if you want to save yourself 2.5 hours every day of your life to get more done, or for that hobby of yours, for work, to build a business, get off your phone and stop using social media. And if you have to use social media for work, if you're a content creator and you have to be on there, or for whatever reason you have to be on social media, I would say turn off as many notifications as possible and don't just scroll, do the work that you have to do there. The second tip I have is the 168-hour approach I mentioned in the introduction. I learned about this in Laura Vanderkamp's amazing book, 168 Hours You Have More Time Than You Think, which I highly recommend you read. Again, when you realize you have 168 hours to live your life every week, your time perspective completely changes. Implementing this time management approach is one of my top 3 life-changing habits ever. It's one thing to understand the concept, but how do you get an overview of your time as it is right now? You track it. And this way you'll be able to see how you use your time every week, if there is room for improvement, usually there is, And most importantly, you will get to see how much time you have left per week to do the things you wish you could do and you think you don't have time for. And I mean, 90% of people who try this approach and start by tracking their time end up with so much free time, meaning such a big gap between their total number of hours tracked and the number 168 that they don't even understand where that time is in their schedule. So this approach also helps identifying dead time pockets that you didn't even know you had. And then you can combine those time pockets together to have long stretches of time where you can be more productive and do the things you want to do. And another thing tracking will show you is how much time you spend on wasting your time, for instance on social media like we talked about before. It will show you the potential there is in converting that wasted time into useful hours. So how do you track your time? Well, I recommend using a spreadsheet. I created my own and I put the link to it in the video description down below. So what it does is you enter the name of the activity you spend your time doing, you put in how much time you spend doing it per day or per week, and the spreadsheet automatically calculates how much time you have left as you enter the data. And it also shows you the output in a vertical bar chart to get a better visual understanding. Once you do that, you'll have your overview ready, and all you have left to do is see what's to optimize. And if you have more time left than you thought, put it to work. And of course, once you've done that, once you've understood where your time is going, you need to decide where those 168 hours are going to go in the calendar to have a structured approach to it. The 168 hour approach is great to decide how to use your time, but it doesn't tell you where to use it during your week. So once you've decided, for instance, okay, I have 10 hours per week to work on this project, that's great, but you need to decide where you're going to put those hours in your calendar. And for that, I recommend using TickTick, which is actually the next third tip I want to talk about. I recommend using TickTick primarily on your laptop because, as I said, it's so easy to get distracted by notifications on your phone, so I don't really use the TickTick app. I use it on my laptop. And what TickTick has is an amazing arrange tasks functionality, which allows you to go from a vertical to-do list layout to a horizontal calendar view. And you can drag and drop tasks just like that. So what you do is you list down your activities in TickTick that you have come up with while tracking your time with the 168-hour approach. And for each activity name, you create a tag that says how much time you've decided to allocate to this activity per week. Then, and this gets amazing, you can decide in the view options to only show a certain tag. So you can show the 10-hour activities, the 9-hour activities, the 2-hour activities. And so you proceed like that. You go from 1 hour to your most time-consuming activities, and you fill up your weekly calendar with the appropriate amount of time that the activity says that it says in the tag. That way, you'll eventually get a full calendar that matches your 168-hour vision, and you will know when to do all the things you listed in your 168-hour tracking. All you gotta do next is to commit to following that schedule. But it's a lot easier to follow a schedule when you actually know what you're supposed to be doing rather than when you're scrolling on social media, right? So I didn't want to make this video super long and heavy. I didn't want to make it too tips heavy either. I wanted it to be more about my philosophy around time management and really the three most important components of it, which are, as a quick recap, no phone, use the 168-hour approach to decide how to use your time, and use TickTick to create your schedule based on that desired time use. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, remember to like and subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.